If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to address this because this is one of the common things I'm seeing people ask, people who are a bit confused in regards to these stories that have been coming out about all these cruise ships, right? These princess cruise ships owned by Princess. We've heard about the Diamond Princess. Now another story again about another princess cruise ship, which is returning back because of the supposed outbreak. Now, this is something where people say, well, how can 5G be involved in any of this stuff? Well, what a coincidence that Princess Cruises had a press release. They even announced this at the beginning of February. How convenient, right around when all this stuff was going on, that they're going to have the first fleet with SES's O3B mPOWER network, which is a new type of satellite which matches 5G type technology. Look at these massive tanks, or what towers, I should say, that are aboard these Princess cruises. And coincidentally, all these cruises that keep coming back happen to be owned by Princess. Crazy. Here's the release. New upgrades debut on board Diamond Princess. Princess Cruises guests aboard Diamond Princess will now enjoy a refreshed onboard atmosphere following an extensive 14-day, multi-million-dollar dry dock, where they upgraded the ship and invested more than $450 million across the global fleet. What was one of the upgrades? Well, upgrading their internet capability, their capability to stream faster, to be on the internet quicker, to have service using this, the O3B. Now, I'm going to show you a video at the end here where you could see for yourself and let them explain. And you tell me if it's good to be in the middle of the ocean with these tanks, these towers that are spraying, just pouring radiation at you. I'm sure it's a wonderful thing, and it's not a coincidence that this all happened at the same time, right? Because most people think of the cruise ships and they go, oh, there's no internet on there, or it's crappy internet, you don't get phone service. That's what people say, right? I've never been on a cruise. I've been on boats, but never been on a cruise. Not my cup of tea. But that's what people, say for the most part, right? That's one of the complaints that they have. So what a surprise that Medallion Net, released February 7th, 2020 by Princess Cruises, this video on Medallion Net, which shows you all the capabilities now with their satellites and this technology, this O3B mPOWER, which apparently is used by the military. And I'll show you here, SES and 5G. SES is doing its part to support the future 5G ecosystem by investing in multi-orbit capabilities in GEO and MEO. No one knows what that means, to address the massive bandwidth growth expected in 5G networks. And we're invested in the revolutionary O3B mPOWER next generation satellite system, which will augment our existing MEO assets with terabyte scale capabilities. So they're pretty much talking about an insane upgrade in the Wi-Fi capabilities on these cruise ships. So, is that a coincidence to you? You tell me. I'm not here to cause any, people are like, oh, that's just fear. Some people call everything a fake, that none of this, look, the thing that can happen with, seeing these people in mass, right? That happens through the fear the media creates. All these people see it, monkey see, monkey do, right? They start wearing the mask. Everybody starts wearing the mask. Everybody looks like they're, that it's around them, the outbreak. I can't say the word. And that's monkey see, monkey do, right? Other people look at it and they're like, well, I don't know anyone that this is happening to, and that's understandable. But look at the coincidences with the 5G rollout and the coincidences with all these stories that keep coming out from the cruise ships getting pulled over, getting docked, everyone having to stay on board as they roll out this technology on the cruise ships. You tell me. I mean, is it just me? Am I the only one looking at this going, yeah, right? Diamond Cruises, Diamond Princess. It is Princess Cruises. How many have there been? We already heard multiple reports of this fleet of ships which just had these upgrades put on it, all coming back in. And this is where these outbreaks are happening and people are losing their lives. They're sitting out in the middle of Lord knows where, Timbuktu, in the middle of the ocean, sitting there on their phones, staring at these towers while they're out on the deck. And remember the videos that I've shown you already where, oh, look, Bill Nye's like, isn't it exciting? You know, the 4G could get blocked by a tree, but with 5G, it'll go right through your walls into your bedroom. Oh, that's exciting. Fry my brain while I'm sleeping. Thank you. Just what I need. And these people are sitting on a boat with this type of power and capability. Now, you can listen for yourself at them explain this with, oh, the satellites and this and that. But long story short that you'll take from it is you'll hear and see, I mean, they talk about just how powerful and strong this is and how powerful the rays are, right? But unfortunately, people hear that and they just go, oh, that's great. I can get on my phone quicker. I can text my friends at home. I could take... Because the most important thing for the zombies out there, especially the millennials, is they want to make sure they're on the cruise ship, that they take a picture of their meal and they can upload it on a Facebook or Instagram in real time while they're on the trip, because that's all they're thinking about. They're like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go home. It's already going to be a week after the trip. How am I going to post all my pictures? I can't put them all up at once. So how am I going to do that? And then people are going to know I'm home already. So won't it seem weird? Because that's how these people think. It's not hard to study these people and see how their brains think. All you got to do is look and go on any of these Facebooks or Instagrams and see how people act. It's like they go to these events. They're more focused on, taking the best picture they can take of themselves at the event, at a concert or something to show off. Or their dinner that I'm at a fancy restaurant. Better take a picture of my meal. No one cares. But now that they're on the cruise ship, I mean, this is exciting for everyone, right? Who cares about getting fried? You think the sun's going to fry you out on that dock? Think again. Look at these little tanks. All they're worried about instead of that is, I'm in my bikini. I painted my nails. Bro, I'm in the pool with the girls. Got to get that picture upload. You jealous, bros? That's what they care about. The dumbest generation we're living in, folks. These people are literally walking all of us off of a cliff. I mean, that's what they're doing. Luckily for us, other than, having salvation, I'd rather live at least knowing this stuff, as miserable as it can make you, than being as dumb as these people and prideful and doing this stuff and acting like this. Look at me taking a picture in the cruise. But I'm going off topic now. This is me answering the question for people out there, because a lot of them said, with the 5G towers, how would that affect any of these cruise ships? They didn't understand how. And obviously, they want you to believe the story of, the cruise ship has all these different people from they're going to different countries and they're coming back on the cruise, so they must have caught it there from touching someone else's currency or something like that, and that's how it spreads. Yeah, that's what they want you to think. But in reality, they're putting radiation tanks on the cruise ships now. So take a look. Let them explain to you, as they roll this video out, the medallion net, at the same exact time, the beginning of February, when all these stories started coming out with these boats, right? Coincidence? Let me know what you think in the comment section below.
Technological advancements are improving our way of life on almost every dimension. From streaming movies to requesting on-demand transportation to getting real-time directions and finding your friends. Connectivity-driven technology is now synonymous with life experiences, every day and now on vacation. Many similar advancements are available on your cruise ship, including MedallionNet, the best Wi-Fi at sea. MedallionNet lets you stream movies, shows, and sports, as well as make Wi-Fi phone calls and video conference calls like FaceTime. That's all possible in large part thanks to what lies on board, what flies in the skies above, and the way we fuse all the technology together to ensure your experience is as great as possible. This includes simultaneously accessing multiple satellites in different orbits so that we can 1. Minimize the distance from the ship to the satellite to ensure your connection speed is maximized, and 2. Minimize the impacts of weather and large geographic features so that your connection is reliable. Here's a little bit of the physics behind the best Wi-Fi at sea. First, the fundamentals. Speed equals distance divided by time. If your destination is 100 miles away, and you travel at a rate of 100 miles per hour, you will arrive at your destination 1 hour later. But if you travel at the same speed, 100 miles per hour, and you only need to go a quarter of the distance, or 25 miles, it only takes 1/4 of the time. Likewise, the closer the satellites are to Earth, the less time it takes for the data to travel. Because the distance is shorter. This is a key medallion net difference. Medallion net always uses the closest satellites possible to our ship. And just for fun, radio waves travel at the speed of light, or 670 million miles per hour. Medallion net uses mid-Earth orbit satellites, or MEO, that are positioned 8,000 kilometers away, or 4,800 miles above the Earth's surface. At that distance, it only takes 0.2 of a second for your mobile device to communicate from the ship to the satellite. That's fast. It is fast. In fact, it's 3 times faster than traditional GEO satellites, short for geosynchronous, which are in high Earth orbit, 36,000 kilometers or 22,000 miles away. Traditionally, the vast majority of cruise ships have accessed GEO satellites. And while that higher altitude has meant broader coverage, it's also meant slower connection speeds. Here's another interesting fact. The first GEO satellite, SYNCOM-2, was launched by NASA from Cape Canaveral on July 26, 1963. 50 years later, in 2013, SES Networks created the first MEO satellites, serving cruise ships, and now just 6 years later, there are 20 MEO satellites surrounding the equator that see our Medallion-class ships when they are south of 50 degrees latitude, which aligns with destinations like London and Vancouver, and which corresponds to approximately 80% of Earth's surface. However, this is a cruise ship, and cruise guests love to travel to the ends of the Earth. So what about the other 20%? GEO satellites actually still reign supreme when enabling connectivity in the polar regions. This is because GEO is not impacted by rain and weather. Whereas there's nothing more stunning than the spectacular beauty of the summer months in the northern latitudes. The weather is more dynamic there than in the perpetually sunny Caribbean and Mediterranean. So onboard Princess Cruises ships that feature Medallion Net, we leverage MEO and GEO satellites to keep you connected to the things you love most, and seamlessly shift to GEO when in the north. Thanks, GEO. In these tougher conditions, we're glad you're there. Yes, pages will take a second longer to load, but they will load in any weather condition. So let's switch from meteorology to geology. In northern latitudes, the ships themselves are dwarfed by the massive geographic features you come to see, like mountains, glaciers, and fjords. While gorgeous, these impressive wonders really mess with satellite reception. Whether MEO satellites or GEO satellites, the satellite beams cannot pass through physical geographic features. So with Medallion Net, we do everything possible to ensure the satellite can see the ship, including adding a second GEO satellite into our model, as well as focusing on ship positioning to ensure we get the best look angles possible. When it's impossible to avoid geographical feature interruptions and Medallion Net service becomes interrupted, we will do our best to advise you prior to the outage. There's a map on Ocean View TV that outlines known interruption areas, and if an outage does occur, we hope you'll grab your camera and take a few photos of the impressive natural wonder that's likely causing the interruption. To summarize, when this ship sails in places like the Caribbean or Mediterranean, we link to MEO satellites, and your device is able to link much faster because the signal travels over a shorter distance. When we sail closer to the poles, we tap GEO satellites, which means it will take just a bit longer for the data to flow. When we will have geographic feature interruption, we will let you know. Our passion in sharing the secrets behind the best Wi-Fi at sea is for you to know that we will do everything possible to provide you with the best connectivity experience possible. We appreciate you sailing with us, and with more satellite capacity than many of the cities you'll be visiting along the way, and more antennas than any other cruise ships in the world, looking at the most satellites possible, we know that you're going to love MedallionNet.